People have been clamoring for this. It is now time to talk about the defense of Collin Murray-Boyles. I have called him in snippets that I've watched him watching games, at least as a rookie, as the closest thing that I have seen to potentially a forward who might be on the level of Draymond Green. There have been so many next Draymonds over the years. And so I really wanted to dive in deeply on Collin Murray-Boyles. What are some of the defensive stats, Danny, that stick out to you about Collin Murray-Boyles, the ones we usually look at before I get into my scouting report?
It's always tricky because evaluating defense is a combination of the eye test and ideally stats, but some of the things you're looking for are kind of where a team shoots, but also how well the team does things like ending possessions. And so I think it's notable that the Raptors they can be a better rebounding team when Collin Murray-Boyles is on the floor.
Yeah, and he hasn't played very many minutes at all with Jakob Poeltl, who's their best rebounder. He's usually either come off the bench behind him or more often taken his place in the starting lineup. 432 Murray-Boyles is out right now with a thumb injury. We don't know how long it's going to take him to return, but they do rebound better when he's on the floor. 27% opponent offensive rebound percentage when he's on the floor in this day and age. That's actually pretty good. They're 3.0% better rebounding defensively when he's on the floor. And the other thing we like to look at is the rim protection numbers that we have. And that shows that he contests 27% of opponent shots when he's on the floor. And I think that's a pretty good number because the way they deploy him a lot, because they have pretty good size up down the lineup, is they'll deploy him to switch. And we'll talk more momentarily about how effective he is in that regard. Not an elite number, though, when he contests opponents are shooting 62% when he contests a shot within 5 feet. And then generally, this is a better number. Opponents shoot 62% overall on the floor when he's out there or when he's on the floor and they're shooting inside of 5 feet. And this number is even better. They take only 28.7 rim shots per 100. That's not bad jokes. That's actually just shots that are at the rim there when he's out there. So that, again, anything under 30 is usually a pretty good number for that. If you want to know what a truly elite number is, the Spurs with Wembanyama on the floor, they're about like 24.7 last time I looked. So what does the film actually say about Collin Murray-Boyles? I think let's start with his feet. And because he does have very good instincts, he's a defensive playmaker, to be sure. We'll talk about that more. But one of the things you got to do if you're going to be the next Draymond is guys just can't beat you one-on-one. And he hasn't gotten to that point yet. And who knows whether he will. But, I think he's a good but not great switch defender. Certainly someone who can be deployed in that role because, of course, you have the defense behind you there and they have other size. So they like to do that. I think he's better going against bigger players. I thought some of his most effective possessions were against Luka Doncic. Luka tried to take him, get to his step back. Murray-Boyles got a pretty good contest late. He likes to do this swipe move where he'll just contest and put his arm down really quickly in front of the shooter. Even if he can't reach the ball, it's very distracting. He's close enough to distract him. Another time, Luka should have got called for an offensive foul on the baseline in isolation, went past him, but then Murray-Boyles blocked his layup from behind, which you don't see very often against Doncic, who has a great feel for not getting his shot blocked. James Harden was an interesting one. I thought he had some good possessions against James Harden in isolation, some that weren't as good. And probably the biggest thing that I saw him struggle with is once he begins to backpedal, when the guy stops and goes to a step back or just stops on a dime, he wasn't really able to recover and getting into a contesting position. I thought Harden got him on the step back a few times. And actually Jamal Murray, I thought, was very effective getting to his shots one-on-one. And these are all plays where it's like, he's not just getting blown by necessarily, but if you want to talk about the elite of the elite, I thought Jamal Murray was getting pretty good looks. It's just a subjective thing. You have to say what's really a comfortable look for these great scorers. And I thought Murray looked pretty good going against Murray-Boyles. So I think where he really needs to improve is getting a little bit stronger and faster, and is easier said than done, right? I'm not sure if this is ever going to happen for him, but and also just to anticipate when guys are going for the step back and get moving forward again and contesting it more. The other thing I will note is he only makes plays with his left hand. And that's a little bit of a problem because that's 50% of his hands aren't doing anything. And you'll see a lot of even guys who are not great finishers. Like there's one play where LaMelo Ball drove at Murray-Boyles. LaMelo drove left, Murray-Boyles to his right hand. LaMelo got in the lane. LaMelo's not a great physical finisher. And just went right up over Murray-Boyles, went right through him, and Murray-Boyles just couldn't contest it with his right hand. And that was really the case in a lot of plays that Murray-Boyles made, where he could even get across his body with the left hand sometimes. If you right-handed guys trying to attack to their right and finish right, he was very good because that's his left hand. That's where he's contesting. But especially also if someone is stepping back to their left as a right-handed player and Murray-Boyles is going to his right and then trying to contest a jump shot with his right hand, just not really able to make that play. Pretty much every single one of his deflections or steals came with his left hand as well. And so you'll see that a lot of times with left-handed guys. And he's very left-handed on the offensive end as well, that they're just not as comfortable making plays with their right hand. I don't know whether he doesn't think to do it or he can't do it. And whether that's something that can be proved or not, I can't quite say that really. Those are things that stuck out to me in terms of his individual on-ball defense. The other thing I will say is I think his overall awareness is very solid. Like he makes a lot of plays, got the stocks, etc. I think he has a good understanding of when he's guarding a non-shooter to help. He made a number of plays in the gaps off of Jaime Jaquez when they were playing Miami, where he was able to just leave Jaquez, who's not going to be a high volume 3-point shooter. So that was pretty good. And I think also like he can make plays when it's more of a 2-on-2 situation, but the elite guys can stop a 2-on-1. And I thought that's where he wasn't necessarily able to make the plays. If there's someone coming downhill, he would not have the awareness that the roll man was getting behind. In the Laker game, he gave up a couple of alley-oops to DeAndre Ayton. One of them was when Marcus Smart was posting up, and Murray-Boyles just didn't even see the big going behind him to get an alley-oop. I didn't really care for that very much. That's something where, and that's one of the plays that Draymond, for example, again, we were holding to a really high standard. He's, by any standard, Murray-Boyles is a very exciting young rookie defender. And also worth noting that Draymond was not Draymond when he was a rookie. He was playing the three, and he was a good individual defender, but it wasn't until 2015 that he became this incredible player. Also,
well,
I would
Nate,
say
beyond that,
sorry,
Draymond Green came into the league. His rookie year was his age 22 season. Collin Murray-Boyles is way younger now than Draymond Green was when he came into the league, and way younger than when Draymond broke out.
No, that's absolutely true too. Yeah, I mean, he was 24 by the time Draymond really first became an all defensive level of player. Although maybe he could have done it earlier if hadn't had David Lee in front of him. I remember I was calling for Draymond to play in that series against the Clippers when Blake Griffin was just destroying David Lee every single time and destroying. I think Jermaine O'Neal even might have still been on that team. And Draymond was the only one who could guard him, and Mark Jackson just wasn't playing him enough. It was driving me crazy in that series. So back to Murray-Boyles, though, I think he is definitely like someone who has quick hands. If you throw a pass near that left hand, he's going to get that ball up there and get a deflection, get an interception. I mean, there's one play that was really remarkable where he made an initial play, fell down, and then as he was standing up, quickly was able to get a deflection for a steal. That was really impressive. So I think my ultimate look here is no, he's not one of the best defenders in basketball right now. Also, I think and again, this is something I would say this is the thing that is probably the most likely to improve is his post defense. That's just a matter of getting stronger, right? Like Ivica Zubac posted him up. They even sent a double team, and Zubac still just went right through Murray-Boyles. Again, it was to Murray-Boyles' right side where he wasn't able to make the play blocking the shot. So that again is one where learning to contest with the right hand when someone goes right shoulder and just getting stronger, using leverage a little bit more. Just not something he had to do very much on a bad South Carolina team last year. So he's got a long way to go. There are some really interesting raw playmaking abilities. He clearly thinks the game better than 95% of rookies. But the standard for being someone like Draymond Green, who's one of one at that size and that archetype, is very, very high. And I came away feeling a little bit lower on Murray Boyles after this analysis. Still very high, obviously. I really wanted to think that he was going to be just, unbelievable, clear all defense, top 5 defender in basketball. And I think I'm not saying he can't get there, but I do think I'm not sure if all of the things that I said that he needs to get better at here are great bets to happen. Maybe they will because his awareness is just that good and he's going to study that hard and he'll be in a good Raptors defense. But I can't be sure at this point. So, very, very interesting defender. Evaluating defensive ceiling is notoriously difficult. So I certainly understand that. But on this show, we make a call on what we think is going to happen. And that's my opinion as of right now, that he's going to be very good, but maybe not, one of the absolute best.